Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be unity and faith, peace and progress. Not two different phrases. It's just one phrase, unity and faith, peace and progress. So I believe this should be in line with the provisions of the...
Okay, Secretary, I take note of that. Those in favor of clause 1 to 10, stands part of the bill, say aye, as amended. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the clauses 11 to 20, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the clause 21 to 30, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 31 to 40, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 41, 42, and 43, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 44, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 45, short title, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that Schedule 1 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that explanatory memorandum on page 39 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the long title stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Session.
Point of order. Mr. Chairman, very distinguished colleagues. I move that we suspend order 13 to enable us sit beyond 2 o'clock p.m.
I reluctantly support the motion.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Can you move motion for us to revert to plenary?
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate reverse to plenary for the charge report progress.
Mr. President, I support the motion that the Senate reverse back to plenary.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Information and National Orientation of the Agency for National Ethics and Values, Establishment, etc., Bill 2018, and approve as follows. Clause 1 to 44 as recommended, Schedules 1 as recommended, Explanatory Memorandum as recommended, Short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the bill be now read the third time.
President, I second the motion that the bill be now read the third time.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the bill will be now read the third time say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the National Agency for National Ethics and Values, to provide the functions and powers of the agency, the qualifications and procedures for the appointment of the chairman and members, and for related matters 2018, third reading.
A bill for an act to establish National Agency for National Ethics and Values, to provide for the functions and powers of the agency, the qualifications and procedures for the appointment of the chairman and members for related matters 2018 is read the third time and passed. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the fifth order of the day is the consideration of the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters of the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation, Establishment, etc., Bill 2018. Distinguished senators will recall that the report of the committee was laid on Tuesday, the 3rd of July 2018. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator David Umaru to move the motion
Senator David Moro.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is David Omaru, representing Niger East Senatorial District. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to move the motion that the Senate do consider the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation Bill 2018, SB 74. I so move.
Senator Gilbert Nudge.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is still Senator Gilbert Nudge, Enugu East. Mr. President, I rise to second the motion that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation Bill 2018, SB 74. I so second, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do consider the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation Bill 2018, SB 74. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator David Moro, kindly present your report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I wish to present the report of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation to identify conflicts and for the supervision, coordination and monitoring of all peaceful resolutions between governments, organizations, etc. in Nigeria and for related matters. The National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation Establishment ETC Bill 2017 SB 74 was sponsored by distinguished Senator Comrade Sheusani, Kaduna Central District. The bill was read for the first time on Thursday, 15th October 2015. The Senate at its plenary sitting on Tuesday, 7th March 2017, deliberated on the general principles of the bill, and after extensive deliberation, the bill was read for the second time and referred to our committee, via the Senate order of referral dated 8th March 2017, and to report back with recommendation. The methodology was adopted as usual, the normal conduct of public hearing and rest. The objectives of the bill, the main objectives of the bill in the committee's view are firstly to seek to establish a commission to be saddled with the responsibilities of identifying conflicts, supervising, coordinating and monitoring all conflicts and resolutions of the same in the country, and to seek, secondly, to seek to implement the national peace policy, which provides a framework for peace building, prevention, management, and resolution of dysfunctional conflicts in Nigeria. The committee legislative action is as provided, and the memoranda that was received, for the public hearing is as indicated on the report. Then the public hearing was held, and also all the proceedings are actually stated. The legislative summary is as contained in clause 6 of the report, and I would go to recommendation in view of the time. Flowing from the presentations made during the public hearing and the foregoing observations finding the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, to which the bill was referred, having favorably considered same, recommends as follows: that the Senate do consider and pass the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Conflict Resolution Establishment, ETC Bill 2017, as amended. I so move. Finally, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, we wish to use this opportunity to thank the President of the Senate and our distinguished colleagues for the opportunity to serve in this capacity, and respectfully commend the passage of this bill to the Senate. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any comments? If no, leader, if you can move forward to committee.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate resolves the committee of the board to consider the report.
Mr. President, I second the
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, we have 31 clauses here. So if there's anything controversial in this clause, so I'm going to move swiftly through it. Those in favor of classes 1 to 5 stands part of the bill, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 6. Those in favor of clause 6 to 10 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of that clause 11 to 18 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of that clause 19 to 26 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of that clause 27 to 30 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of that clause 31, short title, stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of Schedule 1 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that this explanatory memorandum on page 17 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor that long title on page 1 stands part of the bill, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate was plenary for the charter for progress.
Mr. Chairman, I support the motion.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion to refer to plenary say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation Bill 2018 and approved as follows. Clauses 1 to 30 as recommended, Schedule 1 as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the bill be now read the third time.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I second the motion that the bill be now read the third time.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the bill be read the third time say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation to identify conflicts and for the supervision, coordination and monitoring of all peaceful resolutions between government, organization, etc. in Nigeria and for incidentals 2018, third reading.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Commission for Peace, Reconciliation and Mediation to identify conflicts and for the supervision, coordination and monitoring of all peaceful resolutions between governments, organizations, etc. in Nigeria and for incidental matters is read the third time and passed. Let me commend the Senator Shehu Sani, who this bill, let me sponsor of this bill. I think is and this passage of this bill is coming at a very auspicious time as we continue to look for ways to bring peace in our country. I think this bill will go a long way to prevent conflicts, to get to the roots of one of the problems we have, and provide the institutional support for some of the efforts. We hope that with this, we can continue to manage some of the present conflicts that we're battling with, and now hope that that will continue to go a long way in bringing peace in our beloved country. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the sixth and last order of the day is the consideration of the report of the Committee on Environment on the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency Act 2006, Amendment Bill 2018. Distinguished senators will recall that the report of the committee was laid on Thursday, the 12th of July 2018. Mr. President, may we to invite Senator Oloremi Tinubu to move the motion for the consideration of the report.
Senator Tinubu.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Oloremi Tinubu. I rise to move the motion that the Senate do consider the report of the Committee on Environment on the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency Act 2006 Amendment Bill 2018 SB 557. I so move.
Senator Ajoke.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to support, to second the motion ably moved by distinguished Senator Oloremi Tinubu. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do consider the report of the Committee on Environment on National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency Act 2006, Amendment Bill 2018, SB 557. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. Yes, have it. Senator Tinubu, present the report.
Thank you. The report of the Senate Committee on Environment on a bill for an act to amend the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency Act 2006 and for other matters connected therewith, SB 557. The Senate, at its sitting on 24th January 2018, read the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency Act 2006 Amendment Bill 2018 for the second time and referred same to the Committee on Environment for further legislative action. So the members are 10 and the committee action what is the regular pattern about having a public hearing and sending memoranda. But observation based on the public hearing, the committee observed that NOSDRA Amendment Bill will address any kind of restriction and ambiguity in the agency's mandate in a manner that leaves no one in doubt as to their jurisdiction, especially as there are several agencies with auxiliary roles on environmental regulations in the industry. And two, the NOSDRA Amendment Bill will give the agency the requisite capacity to regulate the activities of the operators as it affects the environment. Three, both operators, regulators, NGOs, host communities all agree that there is a need to strengthen NOSDRA as one of the key components to achieving the goal of protecting the environment. Recommendation, the committee recommends the amendment of 14 sections of the bill, wherein it includes new sections which section 8, 9, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. Conclusion, after exhaustive deliberation, the committee hereby resolves that the Senate do consider and pass the bill for an act to amend the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency Act 2006 and other related matters therewith. Finally, on behalf of the entire committee, I wish to express our sincere appreciation for the confidence reposed on us to serve in this capacity. It has been a worthwhile exercise and quite rewarding. I thank Mr. President, and I pray that, this will pass the third reading. Thank you.
Any comments? If not, Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate resolves into committee of the whole to consider the report.
Mr. President, I second the motion that we revert to the Committee of the Whole to consider the report.
Those in favor that we resolve into Committee of the Whole to take this clause by clause say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, there are 14 clauses here. There's nothing controversial here. And I can say that this is a bill that I think I would like to say that I too am sponsored in a way. I tried to pass it in the 7th Senate, it didn't pass, so I'm happy that it's passed, it will pass now. So it's a joint bill. You know, we do very few things together. So this one, we do this one together. Clause 1 to 10. Those in favor of clause 1 to 10 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 11, 12, and 13. Those in favor of clause 11 and 13 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of short title 14, be part of this say aye. Those against the nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that Schedule 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that explanatory memorandum on page 25-26 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate reverse plenary for the charge of court progress.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I second the motion that the committee report back to the plenary.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on the Environment on the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency Act 2006, Amendment Bill 2018, and approved as follows. Clause 1 to 13 as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the third time.
Mr. President, I second the motion that the bill be now read the third time.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that this bill read third time, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, the bill for an act to amend the National Oil Spill Detection Response Agency Act 2006 and for other related matters 2018, third reading.
A bill for an act to amend the National Oil Spill Detection Response Agency Act 2006 and for other related matters 2018 is read the third time and passed. Once again, let me commend Senator Tinubu as both as sponsor as chairman environment for passing this very important bill that will go a long way in the area of oil spill, because the focus of the bill is to ensure that we prevent as opposed to chasing after the event has happened and updating the fines in line with today's modern practice. It's a very good development for the environment. Distinguished colleagues, I haven't completed all items of the other paper. I hereby adjourn the Senate to the 24th, Tuesday, 24 July 2018, 10 a.m. prompt.
Okay.
Yes. And
last time I camera.
Okay, so the camera. Okay.
Real life, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Distinguished, sir. Yeah, we'll go.
One question now.
Just one question.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
one question. You will agree with me that it has been an intensive, purposeful deliberation by the legislators from all, yes, of course, different constituencies and different states who have always and will always stand by the people. I have here with me a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm talking of distinguished Senator Gilbert Najid. I'll be talking more on his motion. Distinguished sir, congratulations for your bill has been passed.
Thank you, my dear.
Yes. You will agree with me that the Nigerian Night Post is becoming a mirage.
Yes.
And year after year, a lot of money is allocated to communication, but it cannot stand with the test of time and with the best, global practices. Distinguished, do you think that this bill will actually resuscitate those whole hills?
Well, I believe that the passage of this bill is going to resuscitate Nigerian Postal Service, because the aim of this is to create a commission that is going to stand to be governing the Nigerian Postal Service. They will now have their own commission that is in the area, and it will now bring a lot of incentives. That it will now bring, that is foreign, both local and foreign investors. They will now participate, and it will now split the dual role of the Night Post, because Night Post have been is the only body that have been supervising the Nigerian Postal Services. So they are now going to have an independent body whom will also operate within the organization. So the bill as it is now is going to make Night Post to boost both economically. It is going to bring so many incentives, both employment opportunities to our teeming youths. So a lot of change is going to be introduced by the passage of this bill onto Night Post. It is going to revitalize it to meet up with the best international practices of the whole world.
Distinguished, thank you so very much for your vibrancy and intellectual input at all times. Yes, I'll be talking with another distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm talking of distinguished Senator Suleiman. That I'll be talking more on. Distinguished sir, kindly just tell me, you actually said something that's really good, and the report to your committee. Does this bill target the nucleus of new Nigerians? Since it appears that the present-day Nigerians are beginning to lose these ethic values and of course, ethics.
The most important thing about this bill is that first, it provides a legal framework for the practice in various ministries and even private sectors of the economy to do those things that are ethically correct, that have some social values for our people. Unlike the mandate of national orientation, which is much more persuasive, this one has provided even for punishment for those who are in breach, and it is in best practices that are done in other parts of the world. So we are not doing something that is novel, but we are doing something that other parts of the world are doing. And we hope that with this, so many things that people do in offices and in private sector too are not going to go unpunished if you are in breach of any of such provisions.
Distinguished, you actually almost crisped me right. That was exactly the second question I wanted to ask. Now, what is the difference between this new agency that has been passed and other related ones on ground?
That's right. Like a colleague raised the issue earlier on, and I said there is, in practice, a committee under the office of the president that had been handling, trying to reorient the public about our ethical values in the country. But now, which is the same thing that national orientation has been mandated to do. But now with this agency that will be established, they are going to enforce, not just simply persuade people. That is the major difference.
Thank you so very much for being there. Well, I'm sure you've heard it all, and I want to leave this before we go, that all we need to do, we must all build national unity. We must build a revolutionary forces that will enter just one powerful wave that will sweep out all economic imperialism. This we can achieve when we are united. All we need to do to achieve greatness in Nigeria is to love one another and stop being violent. Until we come your way again, I remain Christy Ewodage saying, be patriotic.